Okay, today I'm going to be teaching you how to focus your camera. One mistake many beginning filmmakers or photographers have is their shots aren't in focus. As filmmakers, it's our job to make sure our shots are appealing to the eye and tell a story. If your shots aren't in focus, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. There are many different ways to make sure your subject is in focus, and I've broken it down to about 5 different ways to make sure your clips are always in focus. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe. I post weekly videos on filmmaking and photography. Okay, the first tip I have is to use manual focus instead of autofocus. Your camera has manual focus and autofocus. Most people when they first get a camera use autofocus, and this is a great way for beginners to get an idea of how their camera focuses or let the camera focus itself. But move away from autofocus because if you can improve your skills with manual focus, you're going to be getting better shots more consistently. And there will be times when autofocus just won't work. You don't want to be reliant on autofocus and miss out on a great shot. So just make a conscious effort to start using manual focus more. The second tip, and potentially most helpful, is to use the zoom button or the magnify button. This is a small button on your camera that looks like a magnifying glass. When you press this button, it magnifies a part of your shot so you can get clear focus. Now I personally shoot on a Canon camera, so it may be laid out differently on your camera. But find the magnification button so you can zoom in and get your true focus. This is great because you get closer to your subject and it's easier to tell when it's in focus. Sometimes when focusing a shot, it'll look like your subject's in focus, but when you look back on a larger screen, you'll realize it was slightly off, and that'll make a big difference to viewers because they'll notice your shot isn't in true focus. It only takes an extra second or two, and it makes sure your shots are guaranteed to be in focus. The third thing I'd say is to use a tripod. Now while this doesn't directly get your shot in focus, a tripod is a great way to make sure your camera is stable. Sometimes when shooting handheld, you can be moving around a lot and your subject can go in and out of focus. While there is a time and place for handheld shooting, making sure you have a stable, clear shot is always important too. Now I know for myself personally, I've shot on a camera that doesn't have a magnification button, so an alternative to this is to use a lens with a manual zoom. If your lens has a manual zoom, you can use it to zoom all the way in on your subject, get true focus, and zoom back out. This works the exact same as the magnification button, but is a great alternative to people that don't have that option. Now if you are still struggling to get your shots in focus, you can always lower your aperture. While this will make some of your shots less cinematic, it'll guarantee better focus because it has a less shallow depth of field. But I wouldn't do this unless it was a last resort, or if you're potentially using a wide shot where depth of field wouldn't matter as much. A quick bonus tip for those of you who are recording yourself, use an object to stand in or place somebody else where you're planning on standing. That's basically all there is to it when it comes to focusing a camera. The main thing to focus on is practicing. If you keep practicing and film more and more, you're going to improve at getting better focus. At some point, it's going to become really easy to get your shots in focus and you won't even have to think about it. And to anybody new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week.